Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and the United Kingdom campaign. Didn't F up the intro this time round. And in this episode we'll be continuing on with our great and mighty building spree. In fact, I'm just going to make sure that all of our tech is going, and then we're going to put time on forwards. Money shortage, yeah. I don't think it is imminent though. Thanks to Overlord for giving me a breakdown of what was it? It was a bit of a breakdown of when those events, what happens. Oh, capital ship rudder. Starting to really build up now. That's in 1939. That's a 1938 tech. It's 1918. There we go. Perfect. We've got a little bit of IC to play with. And we've built another couple of radar stations. So we've now got sight range of the mouth of the Thames and the Wash. So we know that about 70 kilometers gives us full range. So let's have a look at sort of... Okay, so Penzance, for example, we're going to want to build one. The Channel Islands, we're going to want to build something. I don't think there's really any... Well, 73, that might do it in Brighton. We'll have to have a think about that. Pembroke is 72, 56. Bangor is 56. Douglas is 12. 64. 34 there. 32. Yeah, we might not have much luck. But we should get full sight range all around the UK, hopefully. Or at least that would be my hope. By the beginning of the war. And we've got some more cruiser techs finishing up. Including cruiser damage control, which is only at 1934. Is there any other techs that we're really behind on? I think amphibious unit training is very important. And capital ship horizontal protection has finished. So our capital ships now are looking very good. Very well maintained. And let's get those 1936 brigade techs. And we've got carrier damage control as well. We just lost... Wow, we thought we weren't getting a... Ah, and we just inherited a whole bunch of units. That's good. We just got central planning advance. You know what? I'm just going to keep that rolling. That gives us a major... That was a major buff. And you know what? I'm going to get divisional command structure. I like these delay between attacks decreases. That's very good. A whole bunch of French units on the border. A whole bunch of French units. And it looks like the Republicans might win this, you know. It's unheard of. Armor plate fitness. We need to get that doctrine up as soon as possible. So thanks again for watching this series. It's going quite well so far. I quite like playing as Britain. It's a fun country to play as. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Let's just make sure that we're getting as much into espionage as we can. We've got 10 covert operations points. Now with that, we can normally do events. I'm not building covert operations points in Germany, but in Italy I am. So let's have a look at Rome. I can't do any of those though, unfortunately. But we can sabotage strategic resources in places. So, where? Major air bases. I know in Japan they have naval dockyards somewhere. There it is. Right, let's sabotage this strategic resource. And just dealing with the few rebellions that we have in India as well. And it looks like the Spanish state is being well and truly handled. So we will pass the Public Order Act of 1936. And no. Oh. I've got enough money to pay, so I'll pay it. We're making fairly decent money, but we are having some trouble with our consumer goods. And yeah, we did just get the next rank of tank destroyer. And the last one of these is the Supreme Command Coordination. Industry has advanced to 1938 level. And let's get the command for Core HQ, which decreases the amount of time it takes even further. Right, they're both at 1937. We can come off them for now. And that's the last of 1936 techs. Right, so now let's have a look at 37 techs. Like heavy armor casting. Right. Capital ship damage control. Can tick. And we've got a very healthy officer ratio. We're nearly at 100,000 officers, which are only covering that many brigades. It's not many. And there we go. So the abdication crisis. So this was a pretty major event in British politics. There was a you know, he married someone that was seen as unacceptable. So even before he became king, Edward VIII lived a good life. He'd already had a number of affairs before falling in love with a married American woman, Miss Wallis Simpson, in 1934. Edward VIII ascended to the throne of the United Kingdom in January 1936. Soon afterward, Miss Simpson obtained a divorce from her former husband, and Edward's intent to marry her became clear. Prime Minister Stanley Baldwin tried to convince Edward that the damage the marriage could cause to the monarchy. Miss Simpson was already divorced once before, but his attempts failed. All further efforts to dissuade the king were fruitless, and on December 3rd, 1936, the crisis became public knowledge. A week later, Edward VIII abdicated and was succeeded by his brother Albert, who took the name George VI. Edward was made Duke of Windsor and married Wallis Simpson in 1937. It's nice that, you know, he married someone, you know, it's a bit of a love story there in a way. But it does mean that we get access to King George. There he is, the man himself, who is quite a major... He has a stammer. For anyone that wants to watch a good film to do with the monarchy, The King's Speech is quite a good film, actually. I don't really like monarchy, but it is an interesting film, let's put it that way. Right, let's keep all those texts going, those doctrinal texts. And there we go, we've got destroyer class improvements. So, I think we can do with heavy anti-air guns. And the game's running very smoothly. And we can end the Second London Naval Treaty, as pointless as it is. And we've got the machine gun and mortar support advance, which takes it up to 37. Got the heavy anti-aircraft guns going. Alright, there's no 37 texts there, but we can get the next levels of airport capabilities. So we shall. Okay. Assault concentration, where's that? Oh, it's 1933. Right, let's have a look at how South Africa's doing. They are drifting towards us, but I would have expected them to be drifting slightly more than they are. And we are also influencing, I believe, Brazil. Oh no, sorry, Saudi Arabia. How are we looking? Right, we're keeping them out of the Axis, but they're not coming towards us, are they? It seems odd to me that we're not actually... That can't be right. Let's do the same thing here. Looks to me like the influence isn't working correctly. It's a bit of an annoying bug, if that's the case. And some more of our cruisers have come online. HMS Dido and HMS Bovenkier. And yeah, we got some more of them on the way out as well. And some more of our radar finished. So, Dover's now finished its radar, and I believe Malta started to get radar in Malta as well. Could do with some money, world. So we just got mass assault level 2. These techs are really ticking up. And how are we looking now? We are reducing our neutrality ever so slowly. Hedgehog Defense has just finished. Or I should say it's jumped up a level. We can get railroad network. It's one thing in the UK that's pretty bad is our rail system. It's been bad for a very long time. Right, we've only got 30 days worth of supplies. And we're into April. And we will nationalise the private sector. And there's the request to petition India and Burma. So we shall. Let's just make sure that we don't get any more rebellions anywhere. And lo and behold, we do have more rebellions. Come on, why doesn't anyone want to buy anything from us? And yep, we will order the Duke of York. We're running very low on metal. So we're going to need to be slightly careful about that. You know what? I'm going to move them down the order. Just because it'll give us a lot more IC production if I do that. Right, let's get that road network sorted. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And maybe we can start influencing again. So, in particular, Saudi Arabia, if I influence you, and then the same in South Africa, if I influence, well, France is already doing it for me. Okay, who else could do with a bit of influence? Who else is useful? Maybe Brazil? Right, and then let's go to our tech screen and make sure that we're dividing up our leadership accordingly. Still doing one spy a day. And we got the first level of Great War Analysis, which I don't think really grants that many great bonuses, but oh well. Worried about that metal issue. It's 38 tech. And we can get the armament tech, so let's get that one. How many spies have we got now? 221. We want to sort of expand our influence everywhere, really. Spies in every location, and HE ammunition advance. Right, and then we can get the heavy cruiser armament. Now, can I get the next level of capital ship guns? No, because I'm waiting on something to do with casting, maybe. Let's make it to 39. Let's just roll that one. We can get next level of airbase blueprints. And the ordering of the HMS Howe is going ahead as well. And we're nearly in June. Consumer goods is being a problem by the looks of it. Tech just finished. The rolling artillery barrages. Yeah, I'm going to just keep that rolling. And yeah, we've nearly made it to 100,000. We've lost the effects of money shortage imminent, so that's good. We've got over 10,000 money, which means we can bung yet more into our production. And we're rolling the money now. Everyone wants to buy from us. Right, so what does the molybdenum get us? What are we losing by not having that? Because at the moment, I prefer the money. I can't see anything that's a major problem at the moment. So I'm just going to leave that as is. I don't think we need that resource. Let's build up our money. Let's get the fast battleship design upgrade. Let's just keep a watch on the decisions. Right, so Stanley Baldwin, who, to be honest, is a bit of a drag on our economy. And the only reason I didn't get rid of him was because of the minus 5%. So, having successfully negotiated the abdication crisis, the elderly Prime Minister, Stanley Baldwin, felt it was time to retire. He's sort of the grandfather, you could say, of the age of mass democracy in the UK in the 20s and 30s. And in fact, that's what it says on this little tax thing here. But he's nearly 70 at this point, and it's definitely time to retire. So, let's have a look at what that does to our politics. So, Neville Chamberlain becomes our head of government, who is a naive optimist who decreases our threat impact by 10%. It's neither good nor bad. Sir John Simon becomes our resource industrialist, who gives us crude oil, supplies, money, and resources. That might be worth having. I'll have to have a think on that. The crude oil is definitely useful. Then we have Viscount Templewood. I personally prefer the bonuses given by our crime fighter here. And Anthony Eden is a good, I think, fit probably for this particular post. Now, I actually in this case would prefer the IC boost. It's still just light aircraft practical decay at the moment, so that's fine. It's not good to have two people at the same thing. Is Neville Chamberlain still a good fit? I like the air build speed, I must say. You know what? Let's keep things as they are for now. And we're building up the Royal Air Force very nicely indeed. So we have 16 fighters. I'm going to need to build another 2 more. So let's build 2 more fighters just to get it to a round number. I'm going to need several... I'm going to need at least a couple of heavy bombers. Yeah, maybe 2. One light bomber. Then we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. Need 1 more. like so. I think I'll call it at that. I mean, actually, let's count this. So let's do that. Let's do it like so. We want to make sure we got our Air Force off the ground. Dual purpose guns. Basing is good, and mountain infantry is even better. Yeah, we definitely need mountain infantry. Capital ship raiders. Let's go for the African army recruitment again. And then let's have a little look at our IC setup. Yeah, we're getting a lot out of this now. And the first of our IC should be online in June time. AP ammunition advance, very good. Armor unit concentration, yeah, we'll do that. We don't need that 38 tech going. There's no more 37 techs there, but there will be an artillery. I might do a whole year in one episode because I'm actually going to London this weekend. So I won't be recording while I'm away. So this might be the last video for a few days, although I am going to do an Ered Luin video after this, because I'm quite enjoying that campaign as well. I am very worried by the lack of metal. The more I look at that, the more disappointed and not happy with it I am. Now we can get the next level of artillery brigades. Anti-air ammunition and armoured car, very good. Good. And we're not quite at 100k, but we're close. Right. This feels like a lot of dissent. Is that ever going to stop? That paying the payment thing? Is that because it's getting old? It's just the same event with no text again and again, where I pay money and I don't get a benefit, and the negative at the moment doesn't really affect me either. So I don't see what the point is of it. It just seems to be an arbitrary decision just to drain my money, which hopefully that stops. Now, let's get naval research, and let's get aircraft carrier research. I'm a fan of carrier research. It's fine. Okay, so we did have a shortage, but now we don't have a shortage anymore. Maybe? Is that... No, we do have a shortage. Right, so if I do this... Can I not buy it? No, I can buy it. What's going on? Okay. Well, that didn't trigger anything. So... Right, there we go. So I can buy tungsten. Right, I think Canada. We're having a lot of our blueprints stolen, considering that the most likely suspects hopefully aren't doing it. Might just let that roll. Right, special forces wise, we can get the modern or the mountain warfare equipment stuff done. And we can get the short barrel HE anti-tank gun. To naval air targeting at 1937 levels. Oh, lots of people are buying resources from us. No complaints from me. Port strike tactics have gone up. Good. We're building industrial capacity in places. Including Plymouth. We're bringing up everywhere that can get industrial capacity is getting it. Right, so we've got the army group command structure increase. Although as the game Army command structure. Army command structure. Ah, no, it's that one there. Cool. Oh no, there is another one as well. Let's get the nav tactics as well. And the ground attack tactics is finished. We don't need to upgrade that one again for a while. Let's get the nav pilot training. And they're all now doing 1937. Good, good. Right, so cruiser damage control. And night combat has improved. Let's get those two going. And yeah, we can nearly get back onto the plane research, which is good. Now, I don't have a huge amount of supply left. So we can buy zinc from Canada or the United States again, and we can send help to China. China, to quote Trump. Right, we'll do that, and we will buy from, I think, Canada again. Let's strengthen our ties to our dominions. Immediate air heart was just lost there. I'm just trying to think really now of the best way to do this. In Scotland we have one Highland division, and we do have a Scottish, yeah, the Lowland division there. We can upgrade you hopefully soon to a decent unit, like we can get pack artillery there, so let's do that. Going to be dealing with a little bit of 5th Infantry Division, which is an armoured car and a motorised engineer. So you're a standard engineer, so I've made the right call there. You're a standard engineer. Can I upgrade you to semi-motorised? I can. Maybe the Northumbrian could do with maybe being a... We've got a lot of armoured cars in our units. Very vogue, apparently. And in fact, we better pump some into supply now. And I'm going to put them to the bottom. Because the amount of IC they were costing just jumped. Fighter bombers. And we've got circa 2 years until the war, and we're building up quite nicely. Not too great, but nice enough. And we don't need to carry on with TAC training and get the naval ground crew training going. We did get the naval underway replenishment advance, which is very vital tech. I'm glad they restricted that, because you used to not be able to get that until 1941. So it will make countries like Germany a little bit more interesting to play, because you can actually build landing craft now, whereas you were restricted before, so that's good. We will build that. Yes, a lot of our infantry is indeed built around armoured car support, so part of me is wondering whether or not we shouldn't actually concentrate our efforts there. And we can order the HMS Anson, ordering all the battleships. Let's put you at the top, just for the brief bit of time that you cost 10 IC. Okay, and the Spanish Republic look like they've well and truly won the war. And someone else is buying stuff from us. Very good. Supplies are down 15. 15 days, apparently, we're going to last for. We'll just let that roll on. I feel like we should upgrade some of our existing divisions to mountain divisions. And, ooh, the Chinese have done very well, I must say. Very good. The HMS Ark Royal isn't actually that far until that comes along. And people still buying stuff from us. Very good. Right, so capital ship damage control. It's at 1937 levels, just let it roll. We've got a lot of upgrades to do, but that's just one of those things. And hopefully we'll get to the end of the year. As I say, I'm extremely worried about our metal deal there. And yeah, we do want twin engine fighter. Right, let's go on to the worldwide market and see who wants us to buy stuff off them. Who's got a surplus of metal? You. Now, if I wanted to buy said metal from you, let's say I wanted to You're going to accept that. And we did get a moderate research breakthrough. That's very good. There we go, they did accept that. Oh, and it immediately jumped our carrier prototypes up. That's good. It's at 1938 now. That's at 1938. Good. Heavy armor forging also upgraded. All the upgrades. Now we can get the heavy bomber prototypes. And we can recruit African units, so we will. I need to start building land units in 1938. I wanted to check to see if we were influencing as well. So, where be South Africa now? I don't think... game. Pretty sure I wanted to influence them. Is it working on you at least, Saudi Arabia? Where's your icon? No, it doesn't look like it is. Let's go to tech. Let's go to Brazil. Only getting 2.5 out of influence. It just seems really low, doesn't it? I'm going to stop influencing Saudi Arabia. If I have to puppet them myself, I will. We can just invade them. They won't put up any fights. Get that 1937 tech there. The same with that 1,000 kilogram bomb. We just got that Great War analysis done. Up to 1918 level. You'd think they'd actually have that researched, wouldn't you? You know, the Brits after their experience during World War II. And we've got another couple of our cruisers coming online in September. So the railway network has been done. We can get air-launched torpedoes, that's a very important tech. And railway level 2. That's good, this is all very good, all things considered. We can upgrade our light cruiser class now, so that's good. Up to hopefully 1937 level. Alright, let's get the fuselage aerodynamics. Everyone wants to buy that manganese from us. I'm not that bothered about submarines as Britain. We've got more important things to worry about. I think we can afford to reduce our officers, officer breakdown just a little bit more, considering, the fact that we've got a 110% ratio. And there we go. So the first of our actual movements into proper war mode can start coming online now. Yes, we're making an absolute huge amount of money at the moment. We've just had HMS Gloucester and Manchester get built. Alright, so let's get some more destroyers on the go. Let's build another 10 in parallel. Let's build some convoys as well, because we're going to need them. Build build some escorts. And let's also build some more light cruisers. Let's build another 6. Or in fact, you know what? I'm just going to wait until we've got the next level of destroyer class, so that they're the newest. Well, sorry, I should say the next level of what's the word? Light cruiser class, I should say. Okay. Right, we've got another sort of 9 or so worth of research to play with. Yeah, let's do that. And in fact, we've got 1 left. Is there a 1937 yet? There we go. And let's buy some aluminium from the United States. Doing very well on our production. Keeping the economy pretty well balanced. At least as well balanced as a late 30s British economy can be. Our records in this time period for economy and our sort of responses to economic downturn were not a particularly pleasant. Doesn't make for pleasant reading. Even though the Great Depression didn't hit Britain as bad as some countries, it wasn't great. Okay, so that's a 39 tech there. Now we can get heavy cruiser class up. Let's get the 37 cruiser damage control. So last of the 37 techs there. Now we can get light anti-aircraft battery going on the British battleships to the next level. And our divisional command structure has improved. Got improvements across the board really now. We're already a much more impressive fighting force than we were. We will nationalise the private sector. It's amazing you can privatise or nationalise the private sector every single year apparently. Okay, so get the next level of mass assault and hedgehog defence. Oh no, sorry, we've got more capital ship techs to do, don't we? Yep. Look at me getting carried away with the doctrines. The new shiny doctrine tree. Okay, and there's one more 1937 tech. Yep, there. Okay, we can get engines, boilers and turrets. And I have a feeling, yep, we can build armour. Or at least upgrade our armour. Rolling artillery barrages have increased. Got light armour designs that have increased. Oh, we've got one more tech as well that we can go for. Oh, if that's the case, and we've got all the capital ones there, then maybe capital ship engines would be very useful. There's no downside to that. We are building industrial capacity at a very fair pace. There's a whole load of carrier techs that we can go for now. Base blueprints. So let's get the light carrier construction up. Along with the basic anti-tank ammunition. Fleet carrier class, good. And there goes the Ark Royal. That's just been built. which means it's time for yet another carrier. And we will add the CAGs. Ooh, we've got a request for quite the build there of... In fact, yeah, you're now at the next level, aren't you? So, let's get the IC built up. In fact, I'm just going to bump that into there for a minute, just while the reinforcement's going. So, you're now at 38, very good, and we can get the mountain unit training, so we shall. So we have just formed that divisional headquarters. Build that airbase, and Ark Royal has been launched. It is a fine ship indeed, had a very good service career. I believe the Ark Royal was the ship that was responsible for damaging the Bismarck. Little tidbit of information there. And a whole load more of our IC will soon be coming online. Let's get the logistic organisation up another level. Seem to be very good at supply management. Right, fast battleship design upgrade. Mass assault. We are running very low on supplies, but I'd rather run low on supply than anything else. We can get the machine gun and mortar support. And, of course, Hitler opens his mouth and we get a revolt. Ah, and it's on our airbase. Oh, you son of a bitch. That was not good. We're nearly at 1938. We've got the basing advance, tech increase. We might as well get the infantry defensiveness as well. There's a couple of 1937 naval tech for doctrines that we can do. We are motoring through techs like no one's business. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4... like so. Good. And we are very low. Good. Right, so December should come along and then more of our IC should build. We've got the Hawker Hurricane, along with the next level of our transport planes. Submarine crew training. Let's make sure that they are trained at least, even though they're not given the best equipment in the Navy. And note, we did not want slider AI. And 6th of December will be here before you know it. Let's get that tech up as well. We'll get the cast training soon. Nice. We're nearly in 1938, and then I'm going to call this video done. Oh, we've got another law. Good. So we can get the 2-year draft, and we can get the full mobilization now. That also gives us a load more to play with here. Operating, yep, let's get the infantry techs going. And in fact, let's get the armoured, combined arms approach. And we're finally green for our involvement on that front. We are coming to the end of our icy building. We're nearly able to pump half of our production budget in. Nope, the game just froze up a little bit there. Yep. A few techs finished at the same time. Oh, all doing 1937 there. Let's get that one there. The wing aerodynamics is done. And it's nearly Christmas. And then I'm going to need to start thinking about the tactical plan of how I'm going to defend the Empire. Because it's not going to be easy. Even after building all of this this stuff, it's going to be pretty hard work. I've now got a negative reinforcement figure. Not sure quite what's going on there. That can't be right. That looks like a bug. Hopefully, like when it goes into the next month, it'll realise that that's not actually the case. Tactics. And you know what? I will call it an episode here. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Hearts of Iron 3 with the Black Ice submods. I think now is probably a good time to switch our focus to the balancing act. Let's build some new... you know what, let's just boost. Let's get everything building a bit quicker, and let's reduce our neutrality. So yes, let's just get time ticking, get a change. Okay, yeah, we paid that. Time to browse our options, buy nickel from Canada, yeah, we'll do the national security policy thing. Trade deal closed. Okay, good. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. As you can see, we've got everything near enough balanced. Our supply levels are very low. That's fine in pre-war. And our metal levels are decreasing still, which is disappointing. Production-wise, I'll just do a snapshot of this. We've got most of our industry being built. It's nearly finished. And we've got a huge amount of planes that will be due out in the next year. just to bulk up our Air Force, and a huge amount of Navy assets that we'll be bringing online as well. So thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Hearts of Iron 3 campaign with Black Ice version 10.3. Thanks again. Bye bye.